Hi, manifestors. This is me, Jamal Kelly, the Empowerment Coach. I'm a skilled intuitive, I'm a life purpose coach, and I'm a law of attraction master. And tonight we are discussing the law of attraction and careers. We're going to be talking about in depth about how to manifest that dream job, how to be a success in your life purpose, how to really make those connecting pieces work for you so you can do what it is that you love. So I'm going to open up tonight's discussion with a quote, and I'm joined by, as usual, very lovely people. But I'm going to open up tonight's pretty much mastermind discussion with this quote that I saw. Generally, I see the number 19 all the time. So I looked up the number 19 in Doreen's Virtues Angel Numbers book. And so I want to share that with you all. The number 19 says, "This is a message for you to believe in yourself and your life purpose. The angels want you to know that you are qualified and ready to follow your dreams. Stay positive and take action without delay." Okay? Stay positive and take action without delay. You are ready to follow your dreams. So, if you are ready to follow your dreams and that's how you found yourself to this discussion, or if you really want to get an understanding of what it is that you feel is your life purpose, I'm glad that you are here. So, I also have to, because this is my class, I have to open this up with a Jamad-ism. So today's Jamad-ism comes from like a while ago when I really started this. So we're just going to say this is Jamad-ism 00, the infinity number. Okay? Empowerment is shaking off the fear that we are not good enough just the way that we are. And I want you to know that, especially when it comes to going after your life purpose and getting an understanding how to build your own business or be a success in your career field, or really moving up at your job where you are, no matter what job you are. If you enjoy your job, you should want to kind of advance, right? So empowerment is shaking off the fear that we are not good enough just the way that we are. And I'm the empowerment coach. That's my own personal definition. So I just want y'all to know that you have to shake off that fear. You have to shake off that fear about what you don't know. You have to shake off that fear of how you think things may not work out. You have to shake off that fear because you are good enough just the way that you are. We are really already whole every day. Every day you're whole because everything that's in your life comes bearing gifts. Okay? Everything in your life comes to help you either advance or to make positive changes or better changes or make more impact in your own life. So anything that you feel is a flaw is actually a gift because you are already perfect. You're good enough just the way that you are. You just have to know how to use those gifts. That's the thing. But as long as you're fearful, you will never have the opportunity to use your gifts, to see the blessings in them, to see the positivity in them. So shake off that fear that you're not good enough just the way that you are, and let's move into this class, okay? So, great. I'm glad that we're all together. And John.
Yes.
So I saw a message from you, and you were talking about the number 219 because, I was talking about 19, so you brought up 219. What does the number 219 feel like to you?
Life purpose, me doing something that I should be doing. Whenever I see it, I feel like I'm on the right path.
So when you see the number 219, you feel like you're on the right path?
Yes.
That's awesome. I really appreciate you sending me those messages. Thanks for being a part. So let's get into today's lesson. I'm going to start with the top 5 things you need to really work with the law of attraction and your career. So these top 5 things came to me through a video that I watched about Napoleon Hill. And he was teaching about his 17 principles of personal achievement. And these are 17 principles that really help you be a success. These are pretty much you could take in as keys to success. So I'm going to tell you about 5 of them. If you have the time to go watch the video, it is on YouTube. You can learn a lot from it. He has many videos talking about these different topics. But these are 5 things I want you to take today so you can really work with the law of attraction and careers. Number 1 is having a definite sense of purpose, having a definiteness of purpose, really understanding what your purpose is, because that is the starting point of accomplishing or achieving anything. Having a definite purpose of saying that, hey, this is what I want to do. I understand at this present moment in my life, my definite purpose is helping people get to where they need to go. And I do that in all kinds of different ways. I do that through life coaching. I help people get to where they need to go in their lives. I was a business coach for 4 years. I help people get to where they need to go in their business. I even started Lyft driving not too long ago, and I help people get to where they need to go physically, right? Through location. So I know that is a definite purpose that I try to work hard on achieving day in and day out. So you need to really kind of own in, what is my definite purpose? And it doesn't have to be for a lifetime, okay? At one point, my definite purpose was helping people really see themselves, right? And that goes along with my purpose right now, but my purpose was really focused on helping people see themselves. So I would do things and engage with people and talk to people to help them really see things within themselves. So just take a moment now to really start to build on trying to understand, what is my definite purpose for the moment right now? It doesn't have to be for the next 20 years. It may last 20 years or it may not. Purpose can change, okay? But you need to have a definiteness of purpose if you're going to achieve anything. I don't care if you say your definite purpose is to become the next president. You need to have a definite purpose, and you need to work towards achieving that, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, applied faith, okay? Faith is really what takes your dreams and make them physical. It's really faith that really says that I can. It's really faith that really brings those things to happen. Faith is the most influential thing as it goes with working with the law of attraction. Because to be honest, if you believe that you'll receive it by the law, you have no choice but to receive it. Okay, so faith is very important. You really want to try to stay in a mindset, a state of mind through which you can say that your desires will be yours. Okay, so faith will translate those mental ideas, those desires into the physical equivalent. Number 3, go the extra mile. Go the extra mile. If you have faith that you're going to achieve your definite purpose in life, go the extra mile. Always. Make sure that you put emphasis, I want to say put your stank on it, right? But go ahead and put all you have into doing what it is that you feel is important for you to do, and do it your way and do it exceptionally. Don't go half a mile, right? Don't go just a mile, because if you just go just a mile, then you're probably going to do it like everybody else. Go that extra mile. Go as far as you can with what it is that you want to do, so you can feel great about yourself, so you can go to bed at night knowing that, hey, I did some very wonderful and powerful things for people that I didn't even know I could. But in that moment, I went the extra mile. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, if you're really going to achieve what it is that you want in your career and in your life, you got to go the extra mile. You got to show people that, hey, you're in it to win it, that you really care about what it is that you're doing. That is so important. So number 3, go the extra mile. If you could do something that's going to make somebody feel special or make somebody feel better, or really just open their lives up or open their eyes up, or really just do something that's going to help your business or your company along, instead of putting it off till tomorrow or putting it in somebody else's lap, right? Go ahead and go the extra mile and get it done. So number 4, positive mental attitude, in which y'all probably say faith and positive mental attitude is the same thing. There are some things that you'll be doing that does not require faith as it goes with your career, right? You don't need faith to walk into work, and just do your job, but you do need a positive mental attitude. to walk into work and do your job and go the extra mile. Okay? So have a positive mental attitude. That is really important because you want to be a pleasant person, for one. And for two, positivity attracts success. Positivity attracts more positivity. So you want to have a positive mental attitude. That is number 4, and I think it's probably one of the most important parts of this whole discussion. Number 5, personal initiative. You have to be a self-starter if you're going to be successful in your career. You have to be a self-starter if you're going to be successful in your business. You have to be a self-starter if you're going to be successful in different circumstances. When you feel the impulse that tells you to go the extra mile, or when you feel the impulse that says get this done today, or when you feel the impulse that says, hey, read up on this, you need to be a self-starter. That takes a little bit of discipline, but you have to be prepared to get on down with it. Okay? So after this discussion tonight, and I share with you everything that I share with you, and everybody else shares what they know to be true as well. You want to be a self-starter. You want to be able to say, okay, I'm going to use what I learned tonight and I'm going to apply it. I'm going to use what I learned today and apply it. Okay? So you want to be a self-starter, and that's number 5. So a quick recap of all of these things. Number 1 is a definiteness of purpose. Have a definite sense of what your purpose is. Understand what it is that you want to do. I'm not telling you to really beat yourself down and try to say, okay, who am I? Where I got to go? How am I going to make this happen? What am I going to do? Just go ahead and say, you know what? This is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. I have a definite sense of purpose, and you go after it and try to achieve it. 2, applied faith. You need faith to go through this. You need faith to say that I'm going to make this happen. You need faith to take your ideas and make them the physical equivalent. Okay, number 3, go the extra mile. Do things that you know will add value to the work that you're doing. Go ahead and add that value. Don't save it. Go the extra mile, because that really makes you shine. Okay, and I'm going to say this, and I said it earlier, God will bless you for what you do. The universe you cannot beat the universe in blessings. Okay, so go ahead and go the extra mile, because you'll be a direct match. When you do good, you receive good. It's just the law of attraction. So go the extra mile. Number 4, positive mental attitude. You need to have a positive mental attitude, okay, in all circumstances, because success will attract more success and failure will attract more failure. If you have a very doubtful attitude, you're gonna attract more to be doubtful about. Okay? So, number 5, personal initiative. You have to be a self-starter. So, I hope that helps everyone on today. So, Miss Sherry.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Oops, here.
So, anything cooking in your head that you want to share with the people about those 5 things? Anything that you want to add to it?
Well, no, not really. I mean, yeah. I mean, you definitely have to have a purpose and going. These are all really good.
Well, thank you. I aim to make these classes happen.
Yes. Do you, Mark?
No, I'm just letting it sink in and soak in.
Yeah, I mean, having a definite sense of purpose, you got to know where you've been so you can know where you're going.
Now, that's rich too. That is really rich. I'm glad you mentioned that, because if you do pay attention to where you've been and you reflect on that, you will really have a good sense of where you're going, how all these things add up into where you are right now. Yeah.
I told someone many, many years ago, I said, well, you know where you want to be. And he looked at me and said, well, to be honest with you, I don't really know where I want to be, but I do know where I don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I mean, that's almost helpful.
but yeah, knowing where you've been, and and whenever we go through wherever we've been, we learn things.
Mm-hmm.
So what did we learn? Or did we just go through that day and say, oh, well, this just happened, and oh, well, we have to take to heart and learn each, make a note of what we've learned and apply that to where we want to be, to our purpose. Does that make sense?
No, it makes her. I'm a living witness of that. And I just started. I'm 27. I just started life coaching when I was 25, and I was a branding and marketing expert when I was 24, right, or 23, somewhere in there. But before those periods of time, I was a comedian, and like I realized that when I was a comedian, I was learning how to get over my anxiety when it came to speaking in front of people. Right? So I thought that was the big thing. I thought that was my big break. I thought that was really what I wanted to do. But what it really was, me just getting on stage and working on being able to speak in front of people and not be so anxious about it. So it took time to reflect on that. But each thing that I did, I worked political campaigns. I've worked in customer service. I've done all kinds of stuff. I went to college. I've done a lot. And the point is, all those things kind of really built me up into who I am now.
Right. And you learn to laugh at yourself through the comedy.
A lot. A lot.
And of course, the faith applies for itself, but that extra mile, isn't that what the law of attraction is that we need to get into that vortex, into the vibration?
Mm-hmm. Get into the flow.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And that's really, and I'm glad you mentioned that too. So it's just like, even with going the extra mile and really getting into alignment, right? Because some people just, live their lives day to day, but it takes a little bit of like going the extra mile to really move into a happier space. Does that make sense? So,
right.
Yes.
And then the positive mental attitude, you're going to have positive or negative mental attitude. It's going to be one or the other. And whichever one you have is going to affect the end result.
amen. You know what? I'm going to let you teach the class because you got it. You got it. And I know you do a lot of different things too.
Well, I do help. Well, up here where you said having a definite sense of purpose, the thing is that Mark and I have always talked about that we're here to help people. Mm-hmm. And I have come to the conclusion that I'm here to help people achieve their hopes and dreams. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do, whether it be whatever I do, if they need to come in and just relax, they relax. If they need to come in and say, I just need for you to listen to me for 3 hours, hey, I can do that too. So,
could you share with the people, the people who have never met you before, a little bit about what it is that you do? Because, they're listening to you right now and they're just saying, oh, well, they're coming in relaxing and they're coming in and talking.
Well, I asked a friend of mine one time, not too long ago, a couple of years ago, I said, all the things I do, what do I call myself? And she said, a contemporary shaman. I'm a certified massage technician. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I'm a card reader. I do life force energy. I'm a Reiki teacher, master. Anything that does with life force energy. Those are the basic things that I do, the primary things that I do. Mm-hmm. Along with other things, but yeah.
Yeah.
But they all work together.
But all work to your definite purpose.
Right. I mean, like I do PTSD, and of course, that works with the hypnotherapy. I do self-mastery with people, help them, that's, again, works with the hypnotherapy. So, yeah, and meditation goes with either massage or hypnotherapy, just however they want to utilize it.
I admire you. I really appreciate you and Mr.
Thank
Mark
you.
for being here.
Well, I admire you too. I think you do an awesome job, and you know you're enthusiastic, and I sense and feel that you are extremely open and honest with everyone. And I really feel that you are a light worker.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do my best for the people.
Yes.
But I like how you said that I'm enthusiastic, because that's also one of the principles that Napoleon Hill talks about. And I'm going to touch on different ones at different times, but I want everybody to know about that 5. But since you mentioned it, you really have to, so y'all can add this to like the 6th thing y'all should know, but enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is so important, okay? Enthusiasm is so important because enthusiasm is your faith in action. Because it's one thing to say that, oh, I know it's going to happen, okay? But that enthusiasm, that feeling, that really shows that your faith is on the move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Enthusiasm is an intense emotion, a burning, a burning desire that's like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. Like, oh, so you want to be very enthusiastic about your definite purpose or whatever it is that you're doing at the time.
Right.
Okay, and I'm not telling anybody on here to make themselves enthusiastic about something that they really don't care about. Like if you're in a job that you really don't want to work, I can't tell you to be enthusiastic about that. But I can tell you, when you find something that really honors your spirit, and when you find something that you really enjoy and connects with, and it seems like y'all are a perfect match, you should be enthusiastic about it. It shows, because that's your faith in action. And just for a little example, so I told y'all just a couple minutes ago that I've started lifting. I have made so much money driving people around that I said, I'm just going to start life coaching from the car. Okay? I have made so much money. But I think the reason why I attract so much success as it goes with Lyft driving is because I'm so enthusiastic about it. Because everybody knows I drive everywhere. So I love driving. And everybody knows that I like interacting with people. So, on like a very like session basis. So it's like everybody gets the car. That's one session. Then there's the next session. So I'm so enthusiastic about it. So enthusiasm is my faith in action. That's why I'm so successful at Lyft driving.
Sure.
So enthusiasm is really important. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Miss Sherry.
Thank you.
Y'all are the best. So I'm going to move into the next section of this discussion. Unless there's something you want to add, Mr. Mark.
No, I'm just soaking it all in. So.
Okay. So I wanted to do a meditation, but I thought that this meditation, I've done it a million times. And, you all can listen to it if you email me at jamadkelly@gmail.com or info@thejamadkelly.com. That's my personal email. Y'all can reach me by there too. But y'all, I will send you the meditation. It's a life purpose meditation. So right now, I'm just going to focus on life purpose questions. Okay? Because if you are on this call and you don't have a definite sense of purpose, like myself or Miss Sherry or Mr. Mark and, John, and because we're not the top of the mountain, okay? Like we yet move and we yet grow. Everybody's here to expand. But if you do feel that you have not found your definite sense of purpose, I want to share with you several questions that will help you open your mind to seeing what your purpose is. And I'm telling you, if you reflect over your life, you will find what your purpose is, because it's really internalized. Don't you feel that like that? You all,
Yes.
don't you feel like
Yes.
it's really internalized that you do it unknowingly all the time? It's like that natural thing that you do without much discussion.
Yes.
So the first question I'm going to ask, and which is the first question that I ask everybody as it goes with their life purpose, is right now, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to do? And then generally people like to BS in front of me and be like, I don't know, I don't know. But it's not that they don't know, because every day we desire something, and usually we desire to do or be something. But the issue is we think that we can't. And then for some odd reason, a lot of people feel like their life purpose or what it is that they plan to do with their life or the decisions that they make have to be popular. Life is not a popularity contest. Your decisions are not about making yourself Mr. and Mrs. Popularity. Okay, your decisions are for you. But the thing about it is some people are so scared to share those dreams with others. That's because they feel that they have fear that I won't validate them or tell them that it's a good idea or that it's something that they should do. And it's not about me, right? So the first question that I always ask as it goes with life purpose is, what do you want to do? That is the top question. And if you want to sing, go ahead and write that down. If you want to run in a marathon, go ahead and write that down. If you want to train people on being a boxer or train people how to lose weight or work with people through massage therapy or whatever, you have to get really clear on what it is that you want to do, and don't talk yourself out of it. Okay? Because when you get to that, because here's the thing, and I wanted to share a very important Jamaadism with you all, but I decided to talk about empowerment. But this is one thing that when I first started my business, or when I first started everything that I was doing, I received this message, and it was really divine. I think I was listening to Delilah. She's a radio host, a radio show host, I think out of Seattle, and it's a syndicated show online and other places. It's called Delilah. And I was on my way to a job that I hated. Okay? Oh wait, there's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. I'll talk about it. Okay, I quit that job. I was listening to Delilah, and I was on my way to a job that I hated, and I quit that job that night. But that's a whole different topic. It was about stop fighting. Anyway, moving on. So I was listening to Delilah one day, and Delilah was talking about somewhat of a dilemma, and it's called Delilah's Dilemma. And it was a woman who was really kind of frustrated because she really wanted to be a mother, but it seemed like everything was working against her to a degree. And Delilah shared with her something that I found to be so profound. And this was before I really gained the spiritual prowess, or I'll say the enlightenment, or the allowing the light in like I do now. I wasn't on that level back then when I heard this. But it was so profound to me that it really changed my trajectory and probably moved me onto this spiritual path. So what Delilah said to the lady was, God would not give you the vision to not make it happen. Okay? God would not give this lady the vision to be a mother to not make it happen. I thought that was the most profound thing that I had ever heard in my life. And then it made me think of scripture, because Delilah is a very family-oriented, I think, not, I won't say Christian-based program, but it's very kind of Christian-y. And it made me think of a scripture. I think it's in the book of Habakkuk, however you say it. And it said, write the vision, make it plain, though it tarry, wait, because it will surely come. Okay, so it was saying that though it may take a little while for you to get whatever it is that you envision for your life, it will still come. And I was like, wow, that was so profound. So I said all that to say this. When you receive a divine impulse that is telling you to do something, accept it as your purpose for the moment, okay? And be about your purpose. Be about it. Trust it. Trust that gut. Trust that instinct. And follow through with it, because you did not receive that vision for it not to happen. So whatever it is that you feel that you want to do right now, whatever it is that you feel that you want to be, go ahead and write that down right now. Okay? What do you want to do? I know I had a whole long story to get back to that point, but I know that's going to help somebody right now. Okay? Miss Sherry, Mr. Mark, do y'all want to share anything about what is it that you want to do just to encourage somebody? And I'm not saying about you personally. I'm just saying like about the discussion that I just shared because I believe y'all listen to Delilah too, so y'all might have known something else that she might have.
Yes.
Well, the thing is Delia, whenever she is on the radio, there's a whole lot of buttons up there for her to play with. But you can tell that whenever she is bringing in a call, and of course these calls are usually pre-recorded, but you can tell that she has listened intently to this person. And she has done more than just listen with her ears.
Yes.
And she may not have ever experienced what they're talking about, but she has read about it, she has heard about it, but she has listened so intently to what they said that she is on a spiritual level with them, that she is feeling their pain or their rejoicing, whatever it may be. And she gets into that moment with them. And that's kind of whenever we're working with people. And that's why I think it's easier to work one-on-one with people than it is in a group. And I so admire you for working with groups, because that does take a special someone. But we have to listen and with more than just our ears, and keep our mouths shut until they're finished talking.
I really appreciate. You know what? Y'all are on it. I'm so glad y'all are here. I'm really excited that y'all are here because y'all bring all the value. But yeah, so even that, like, I think it was like Delilah had to decide on what it is that she wanted to do. She had a definiteness of purpose, right? But she
Right.
did also have to decide on, okay, what do I want to do? I want to, bring inspiration to everybody. How can I do that? By being a radio host, radio show host. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And there probably was a little doubt that said, oh, I can't do it. But I believe that she said, you know what? I can. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go for it and see what happens. That's why
Well,
applied faith is really important.
Well, everybody who listens to her feels like she's family.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because if they didn't, they would not share some of these stories with her and allow them to be on coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
So she
Because
definitely.
it does get personal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Very. Lots of times.
Mm-hmm. Have y'all ever called in? And I'm not trying to make this all about Delilah, but this is like a fan moment for us. So have y'all ever just called in?
No, I've never called in. No.
Well, the only time we listen to her is when we're in the car, and but so we're not going to be calling in then. But it's really nice to. I enjoy the stories. I enjoy the difference that she makes in people's lives. She has a lot of wisdom. She's blessed with a lot of wisdom.
And for any of y'all who are wondering who Delilah is, just Google Delilah and Delilah Radio Show, and y'all can get some of this good inspiration. It's really awesome. I love her show. She plays nice music. Requests for people, or like people be like, Delilah, this is my situation. Can you play a song for me? And she'll just choose an amazing song for that person. It's just awesome. I love her.
Yeah, I do enjoy listening to her.
Okay. So, back on track though. So question number 1 is, what do you want to do? What is it that you want to do? Okay, so don't be scared to make the decision, okay? It's not that you're going to put all your eggs in one basket and you're going to drop them. Okay, just go ahead, decide on what it is that you want to do and apply faith to that moment. So write it down and then apply faith. Okay, right in that moment, say, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm going to achieve this. Number 2, the next question you want to ask is, who do I want to do it for? Right? Because really, after you get an understanding of what it is that you want to do, you want to understand why you want to do it. That will really help you kind of get a little bit of momentum and a little bit more motivation. So what is it that I want to do, and who do I want to do it for? Right? So if we're going to talk about me and talk about me lifting, because I've had like a lot of success in that. And when I say lift, I'm talking about Lyft, like Uber, but I don't do Uber, I do Lyft. So moving on. So the reason why I do Lyft is because I know what it's like, and I know because I haven't had a license all my life. So that's why when I got my license, I started driving everywhere because I do not like being stranded, and I do not like waiting on a ride. Okay? So me knowing what that's like, I easily understand that I want to do it for the people who need a ride. Sometimes when it comes to lifting, and I live in Arkansas, which all the cities are very close by. Cities aren't that large. So sometimes I will drive to a city that's 20 minutes away just to take somebody 2 miles down the road. But clearly they didn't want to walk 2 miles, 2 or 3 miles. And clearly they shouldn't have to because they want to live. So I drive all the way out there just to take somebody to where they need to go. So I know I want to help people get to where they need to go. I know that's my definite purpose. And I know who I want to do it for. When it comes to live, I want to do it for the people who need rides, who need to get get stuff done, who need to make things happen. Okay? Y'all see I'm trying to clear up a lot of my cursing.
You do good.
But you know what? That'll be a side conversation, and it's a funny story why I'm trying to do that. I'll tell y'all after this class. So, but understand, who do you want to do it for? Okay. So after you get an understanding of who you want to do it for, think and ask yourself, what do those people want or need? Okay, so for example, just because I don't want nobody to be left behind that's listening to this, so I always have great examples because my intuition helps me out with that. So let's say you want to be a singer. Okay, who do you want to sing for? And you probably want to say people who are in need of inspiration or people who want to relax and calm their mind, depending on whatever kind of music you want. Or you may want to say people who want to have a good time. You want to do it for people who want to have a good time, whichever. But what do those people want or need? Because you can't assume, you really have to get within yourself and say, okay, this is what I want to do and this is who I want to do it for. Okay, but what are their real needs? Not the needs that you want to push on them, or not the needs that you think they should have. What are their needs? Okay, so if you know that these people need a song that's really going to uplift their spirits, if you know that people need a song that's really going to turn the party out, if you know people need a song, because you know what, we don't really do this for us. We do these things. I mean, of course the recognition feels good. Validation always feels good. Because, you know, people want to feel like they're doing good in the world, and somehow validation does that, okay? But you really want to know what people need because that kind of keeps you in business longer, too, when you're doing it to help the needs of others. So you really have to get an understanding, okay, what do those people need? What do they want or need? Okay? So, last question, as it goes with what it is that you what it is that you want to be doing. And you see, I'm talking about life purpose, but this really also applies to career. Okay? So these are career questions too, as it goes with you finding a career appropriate for you. Okay? How do they change or transform as a result of experiencing you or as a result of working with you? Okay, how do they transform? And that's really that's good for you to know because that's really how you sell yourself, okay, in your career. Or that's really how you sell yourself as it goes with your personal business or your job or what you're trying to do. How do people transform as a result of working with you or experiencing your gifts or your talents or whatever it is that you want to do? How do they transform? Right? So just to be honest, as it goes with me lifting, people transform in my lift rides because they meet somebody so enthusiastic, so sweet, so nice, so kind, and somebody who really cares about people. So that may change or transform the way that they see the world, right? The people in the world or other Lyft drivers for that moment, right? So I also help them transform, like they get empowerment. I'm going to talk to them. We're going to talk about what it is that they feel good about or what it is that they aspire to do. And they're going to leave with some words of wisdom. They're going to leave my car, whether the drive was 5 minutes or 20 minutes. They're going to leave that car a changed person. Okay, so that's one thing that I know that people receive as an experience, even in my lifting. We're not talking about like my main stuff, like coaching and classes. And y'all see how small purpose can become? Like I can make a whole career out of lifting. And I'm not going to talk about how much I've made, but I could make a career out of lifting. But that's just because, but that's just because of how people transform through that experience and how I use that experience to transform others. And, I give them what they need. I know who I want to do it for. You see how these questions play a big part in a career. So
Yes.
y'all really have to get into that. How do they transform as a result? Ms. Sherry, do you want to share with some of the transformations you provide to the people?
Well, they become more relaxed, more calm. They become more at peace at who they are, what they do. Because one of the things that I teach is the deep breathing exercise. And even though they hear the deep breathing exercise, or they hear of it, most people when they come in here, they really don't understand what it is or how to do it. And so once we do the deep breathing exercise, then, that's the first step into them taking control of their emotions, their anxiety, to being in control of their thoughts and their responses.
Right, the peace of mind. That's what I keep, because that's been my big thing this week. Those live videos I've been doing in the Facebook group has all been about peace of mind.
Right.
So I appreciate that. Like you help people gain peace of mind. Thank you. Oh, I did want to say this before I forget. So a new thing that I want to do, because I'm telling y'all these steps, but I do these steps for myself and everything that I do too, as it goes with new career moves, even with the whole lifting. I want to know what I'm doing stuff for. You need to know. You have to have a definiteness of purpose to be a success. Okay, so I'm going to start a new podcast, and it's going to be called the Vortex Party. And that's going to come out this year, and I'm going to do 15-minute episodes that is going to give people who are needing a little pick-me-up during the day or a little bit of inspiration. They can listen to the podcast and they can hear myself and a special guest discuss something as it goes with spiritual work that people can do for themselves, a spiritual healing that people can take on, or just something that's going to lift the people up. Okay, and those episodes will be going on very soon, the Vortex Party. And Ms. Sherry, I would love for you to be a guest. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh, I feel honored. Of course. Thank you.
Okay, see, y'all heard it here. She agreed.
I'm honored. I'm humbled, but I'm honored. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I still feel you didn't say yes, but you agreed. So I'm just going to take that as a yes.
Yes. Well, yes, of course. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Because I feel like you have so much that's going to lift the people up at the Vortex Party. So I just want to throw that out there. So as y'all all see, like, clearly I had something that I want to do, right? I understand my definiteness of purpose. So I know the Vortex Party is going to help people get to where they need to go. Who do I want to do it for? I told y'all that. What do those people want or need? They just need to pick me up during the day, okay? And last but not least, how do they transform as a result? One, they transform as a result because they gain new spiritual knowledge, a little bit more enlightenment, a little bit more of allowing more light in. Okay, and I'm just going to share that because I'm starting to look at enlightenment a little bit different, because enlightenment sounds so like people put it as like it has to be some kind of great deal of education, and that's not what enlightenment is. It's just allowing more light in, like that light we were talking about before we started the class, Miss Sherry.
Yes.
Just allowing more of that light in.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I feel enlightenment is. So it's not about like going here and trying to do this and learning this for this people or try to join this monk's temple. You know what I'm saying? Enlightenment is different for everybody. You're just finding ways to allow more light in.
I agree.
Thank you. So one thing that I wanted to share was one of Napoleon Hill's 17 principles of achievement. And one of those things were, you know, I gave y'all, what, 6 so far, so this would be a 7th, but I don't want to mess up anybody's notes. So, like, just stick this in wherever it goes. But one of the things he teaches is called a Mastermind Alliance. So a Mastermind Alliance is really learning how to collaborate with people in a very influential and positive way. The Mastermind Alliance it consists of 2 or more minds, right? Working in perfect harmony to achieve a very common and definite objective. Because, you know, success doesn't come without cooperation. So with this show that I want to do, this podcast, I don't want it to just be about me. I want to mastermind it with others, right? I want to really, because I mean, success doesn't come by yourself, and I don't know everything. There are things that Miss Sherry knows that we can put together, and we can really achieve some things in that episode. So be thinking about people that you can build a mastermind alliance with, because not only do you kind of get access to them helping you in some type of way, you get access to other things as well, as it goes with that person's experience, that person's education, that person's influence, or that person's finances, which I'm not telling Miss Sherry to give me any money or nothing like that, but if the situation was different, and like I needed like an investor on something, right? A mastermind alliance will come together for that, but it has to be for the common. There has to be a common achievement involved. Both people have to believe in the dream. So I can't tell you you could just build an alliance with anybody as it goes with your success or your career or what you're trying to do within your job or within your life purpose. But you want to work with people that believe in your dream as well. Okay, and I'm very sure that Miss Sherry understands what I'm trying to do. You know, she adds value to it, so I don't mind building an alliance with her.
Thank you. And feelings are mutual.
Thank you. So that's what I'm saying. So that's another important thing I want people to take as it goes with their career and their success, along with everything else I've been talking about so far, right?
Yes.
So I hope everybody works on those questions. And if you haven't written them down and you've been working them through your mind, I'm going to go over them one more time. The top question you want to ask is, what do you want to do? What is it that you want to do? Don't talk yourself out of it. Be honest with me and yourself. If you want to talk to me about it, go ahead and send me an email, jamadkelly@gmail.com. Go ahead, shoot me that email. But you want to go ahead and say, okay, this is what I want to do, and be real about it with yourself. Number 2, who do you want to do it for? There's an audience for everything. And don't just, you can say you want to do it for the world, but you really want to get an understanding of that person. If you say you want to do it for the world is so different. So be a little bit more understanding to what type of person it is that you want to do it for. Number 3, what do those people want or need? You really need to understand their needs if you're going to be in this business. You really got to understand what it is that the people want if you're going to stay in business. Okay? So don't try to force nothing on anybody. Understand what their needs are and be honest with yourself about that. Number 5, Number 4, how do they change or transform as a result of working with you and experiencing your gift and experiencing your talents and experiencing what it is that you do. Understand the transformation. And if you don't know what the transformation is yet, and I'm glad I had to I caught myself on this. If you don't know what the transformation is yet, go ahead and just work it anyway. And through time and experience, you will understand the transformation that you're bringing to people. It'll show you. There was one point in my coaching business, I was trying to understand, okay, how are people, because I didn't understand it right off the back of how me using my gifts and doing what I did, what was it that what was the transformation that I provided? And I understood that I provide empowerment, I provide clarity, and I provide validation. So in a coaching session, you get those things from me. I transform the way that people think and how they see themselves by providing clarity, empowerment, and validation. So you really, but that wasn't built in a day. Okay, I didn't know that right off the bat. It took me to sit down and think about all the clients that I worked with and understood what it is that I was really providing those people in those times. Okay. So understand, how do they change or transform as a result of working with you? Okay. So, Miss Sherry, Mr. Mark, anything y'all want to share before we move into the next portion?
What really stands out to me is what you stated. Do not talk yourself out of what you want to do. Your vision. I do believe a lot of times. We have the vision and we want to move forward, but we kind of have a tendency to let someone else talk us out of it without actually putting ourselves into it to try to actually make something of ourselves. So.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you mentioned that. And just to add a little bit more to that, I had got that from a spiritual teacher who was really saying that was a good key to manifesting. If you talk yourself into it and you begin to believe what it is that you're saying, that's why people talk so much about affirmations and things like that. But if you really talk yourself into it, instead of talking yourself out of it, you know that you'll manifest it so much quicker, so much easier due to the law of attraction.
Sure.
Like, it's just putting so much positive momentum into going in the direction that you actually want to go in, instead of putting so much momentum in going the other direction or going backwards.
Yes. That's why we do hypnotherapy.
Yes.
Well, share with the people really quick how hypnotherapy helps with that.
Well, what happens with that is, with hypnotherapy, we change our mind, or we have a conscious and subconscious minds, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the conscious mind is 18%, the subconscious mind, there's 12%, and the subconscious mind is 88%. Mm-hmm. So that's where all of our habits are. That's where all of our comfort zone is. So the 88% is going to win until we get relaxed enough that we can send through a positive affirmation or a suggestion through the conscious mind to the subconscious mind, and they both agree at the same time, and that's when magic happens.
Great. I think, because I don't think a lot of people know about hypnotherapy, and that's why I want you to share that, because that is a big deal, that the conscious mind is just 12% and the unconscious mind, or the subconscious mind, is what, 88%? And we do things so often unknowingly, right? Because it's become so natural based on like all the conditioning that we picked up over the years, or something that happened when we was little and we felt like it was wrong, or we're scared, or all those things. And where hypnotherapy comes in, it allows you to relax so you can speak through to that subconscious and really change the way that you're seeing your situations into a better, positive, and more motivating and more empowered kind of way.
That's right. The subconscious mind only knows what it's programmed.
Mm-hmm. So you can reprogram it.
You can, if the person is ready, it can be reprogrammed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, you've told the stories in your life where you changed.
Mm-hmm.
Basically changing your thoughts. Hey, this is what I want to do. What happened that you decided that you wanted to change? You changed your thoughts.
Well, that's true. I like, and I won't say I forced myself to change my programming. It's just like generally, as it goes with all humans, human people, that when something doesn't serve them anymore, they evolve. But
That's
one
true.
thing that I know for sure is you can't change what you can't see. So it took people to hold space for me, and it took for me to hold space for myself, or it took me to look in the mirror and get real with myself to say, you know what, I see this, this doesn't serve me anymore, I have to give it up.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be willing to look at that. And then you have to be willing to change it. Because if you think you can finesse it or you can alter it, then you'll try to keep doing tricks without really applying a real change.
Right. And the thing is that hypnotherapy is a process because your subconscious mind is like a kid with a new toy. It's mine. I want it. I've been chewing my nails forever, and I'm going to continue to chew my nails. That's just who I am.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people like that.
And it's not chewing nails either, is it?
Mm-hmm. It's just as bad. No, I'm joking. No offense to anybody that chew their nails. Do you? But
Yeah.
so I really appreciate y'all. I really do. I really do. So here's something that I think will really help everybody as it goes with the careers. If you're really listening to this to change your career, you're really listening to this to really figure out how to use the law of attraction to work in your purpose. And I'm glad we've been talking about changing and things like that. So there's a process that has helped me within the last month that have completely, I mean, I'm on a whole new level. Okay, and I'm telling y'all, every time y'all come to class, there would have been something that I would have gained that have probably moved me to a whole new level. Okay, because it happens. I'm always trying to let a little bit more light in, and when you let in a little bit more light, your life completely changes. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. So here's an exercise. So after you find out what it is that you want to do, right? You have to pretty much check yourself to make sure that you're kind of ready to get on the move and go for it. So you have to do what, coaches will call checking under the hood. Because clearly a lot of times we say, oh, I want to go there. We just get in the car. We didn't even check the car out and just start driving. And then we get on our journey, and now we done kind of just got stranded in the middle of nowhere, not knowing what to do because we didn't check under the hood, and like the engine was a little faulty, right? Or it needed oil or something. So we're going to check under the hood real quick for everybody who really wants to change their career or really establish themselves or really go to their job, go higher in their job. So this is the exercise that you all can do that will help you really get yourself ready to go on the move. So what you have to do is, and these are very easy steps. Okay, these aren't hard steps at all. It's like 4 steps, okay? So I don't think that I'm overwhelming y'all with information, whoever's listening. Just take it all in. You can pause the video, come back, okay? But this is how you check under the hood to really get ready to move into what you want to do. And it's a genius way to do it. So number 1, what you want to do is identify someone who is doing what you like to do. Okay, and make sure this person is successful. Okay, and when I say successful, I'm going to go on a tangent. A lot of people are talented and gifted. And I know I'm very talented and gifted, but I don't take that, for granted because I'm always out here trying to learn. Okay, and I'll talk about people who sing right now. And if you're a singer, don't take offense, just listen to what I'm saying. So you sing pretty well, and you know that people tell you sing really well, and you've sung around town, and you've had performances, and that went good, and you've made singles and things like that. And that's great. But one thing that you want to do is, I don't care if you're a singer, a baseball player, basketball player, spiritual teacher, especially our spiritual teachers. You just cannot get a card deck and just think that you done made it. You know what I'm saying? So you want to master what it is that you're doing. You don't want to be just gifted and talented. You want to become skilled and master it. Okay? Like right now, I'm telling everybody I'm a skilled intuitive, right? I say I'm a master law of attraction teacher because I put in a lot of effort to master the law of attraction and learn the law of attraction. I didn't just say that, oh, what you think about, you bring about, and just left it right there. No, I wanted to master this. So you have to put in the effort. You have to study. You have to allow more light in as it goes with that topic of discussion, whatever it is that you want to do. So you really want to master it. So when I'm saying that, y'all should find someone who's doing what you want to do and make sure they're successful. Don't go to people who you just think is gifted and talented. Make sure that you're thinking of people who are skilled and have mastered what it is that you want to do. Okay, because you want to be skillful and you want to master what it is that you want to do. And going back to the singing thing, if you want to be skillful and master being a music artist, you're going to take the time to go to get singing lessons so you can become a more professional and more educated singer, get more skill. You want to really do things to keep your voice and your body healthy. So you can go that extra mile so you can do things that will help you master singing. Okay, so that's a little tangent. And I wanted to wait for that later on, but I want y'all to understand the difference between somebody who's just talented and somebody who's mastered and are successful at what they do. Because a lot of people are hustlers. Okay, and even in the spiritual world, I know a lot of hustlers that have not took the time to master what it is that they do, and it shows, in my opinion. But I just wanted to tell y'all that. So identify someone who is doing what you like to do and make sure the person is very successful. That's step number 1. Step 2, list 3 qualities that you believe contribute to that person's success. Okay? Let's just list 3 qualities that you think contribute to that person's success. So, for example, if I said that I wanted to be a radio host like Delilah, I would have to, within myself, decide on what 3 qualities that Delilah possesses that I feel gives her success. So one quality I'm probably going to say is she is a people person. Another quality I'm going to say is she is very intuitive. A third quality I'm going to say is she knows great music. Okay? So understand the qualities and those may not, and Delilah may not agree with me that those are her qualities for success, but it's not about what Delilah says is her qualities for success. It's about what you find to be her qualities of success. Okay? So, number 2, pick 3 qualities that you feel contributes to that person's success. And for example, you may say Oprah Winfrey, right? So I'll say Ellen. Ellen is very successful with her talk show, and it seems like she just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And 3 qualities I feel contribute to Ellen's success is the fact that she wants to do it bigger each time. She doesn't do the same thing. Every time she gives away money, she gives away money more the next time. So Ellen is really bold. Okay, I like Ellen's boldness, the audacity that she feels that she has to continue to outdo herself. Okay, I like the fact that Ellen is hilarious. She's very funny. That's a great quality that I feel Ellen has. And last but not least, I like Ellen's very generous personality. I feel like that's a very big quality to her success. Okay, so Miss Sherry, just a quick question. Who would you pick if you want to share that?
Oh, gee, who would I, there is a teacher at HMI, at Hypnosis Meditation Institute, and right off the top of the head, I cannot think of her name, but she is probably, I don't think she's there anymore, as a matter of fact, but I still go in and I get her trainings on every, and listen to her trainings, and because she was enthusiastic, she was always smiling, it's like she knew just exactly what to say to the client before and during the hypnotherapy session. So intuitive.
So, okay, so we're going to move to the next step. Thank you.
Yes. Was that okay?
That was great. Mr. Mark, do you want to share your person?
Wow, I don't really. Who would I?
Well, you don't have to do it right now. Just give it a little
Yeah,
thought.
I'm gonna have to give it some thought. Yes.
So, step 3, you would want to.
But I do want to.
Go ahead.
And I apologize for interrupting you here.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah. But, isn't this one of those things that the person doesn't necessarily have to be alive or dead?
Yeah, they don't necessarily have to be alive or dead. Because the thing about it, you don't have to know them personally either. You just want to find somebody who's, like, when I did this exercise, the first person that came to my mind was Marianne Williamson. So just so you know, I'm very much so about what I talk about. Okay? So
Yes.
I said Marianne Williamson was the person that I admire. And actually, I got to see her. Oh, my God, y'all. I had just wrote this down one week, and I was on the road to go see her like the week and a half later. So it was just so quickly how that happened. And I got to talk to her. I got to ask her a question about how she got started and all of that. Oh, goodness, that's a whole nother story. But like I'm telling you, this law of attraction stuff is real. Moving on. So I wrote down one person that I admire. So you can just say that this is one person that you admire, right? And they could be alive, that whatever. One person that I admire. And I wrote Marianne Williamson. And I said 3 qualities that I admire most about her are: she knows her stuff, she is always teaching, and she loves what she do. Well, she loves what she does. Excuse me. I'm from the South. So she knows her stuff, she's always teaching, she loves what she does. Okay? So then the next question is, the one quality I need to develop is, right? So choose one quality that you want to develop the most of all. That's number 3. That's step 3. So I wrote, the one quality that I need to develop is constantly teaching. Marianne is constantly teaching. I feel like I know my stuff, and I could work on that a lot more, right? I can't say I know everything because I do a lot of studying, but I know my stuff. I love what I do, but I got to get to constantly teaching like Marianne. Okay? So that's a quality that I want to develop, because I'm telling y'all, I get burned out sometimes. So I have to figure out whatever it is. I don't know what kind of vitamins Marianne takes, but I got to get on her level. Okay? And I'm not saying like she's perfect or anything, but that's just the exercise. You have to check under your hood. So you have to understand, like, who's somebody that you admire? What qualities do you admire about them the most? And what quality do you feel that you need to develop the most? Okay? So that's question 3. And the last question is, well, not the last question, but it's kind of a question. What are ways that you can develop this quality? Okay, so you can say, to develop this quality, I will take these 3 actions. So what are 3 actions that you will take to help you develop this quality? So even as it goes with me constantly teaching, I said 3 actions that I can take that is going to help me constantly teach is to read more, do more live videos, and collaborate with others. Okay, now Miss Sherry, haven't you seen me doing more live videos?
I'm sorry?
I said, have you seen me doing more live videos?
Yes, I have.
Right. So you see, I'm trying to take the action. I said I need to read more. I need to do more live videos. And the last thing was collaborate with others. And as y'all heard on this call, I'm trying to collaborate with more people. Okay? So just putting it out there. I do the work too. I'm not perfect. But so just to put these questions back, because I know I've been doing a lot of talking. Question 1, one person that I admire, one person that is successful at what it is that you want to do. Okay? Figure out who that is. Take a little time. Make sure they're successful, and just say one person that I admire is, and write their name down. Number 2, 3 qualities I admire most are, okay, what are the 3 qualities that you feel contribute to this person's success? Then number 3, the third question is, what is the number 1 quality that you want to develop the most? And some of you probably going to write down courage, vulnerability, and risk-taking, right? But out of those 3, excuse me, because all 3 of those are very important, but out of those 3, which one do you want to develop the most? And some of you may say risk-taking, some of you may say courage, some of you may say, you know, peace of mind, right? Somebody that you admire may have a very peaceful presence. But you want to understand, what is the 1 quality that you want to develop the most? And then the last question is, what are 3 actions that you can take to help you develop that quality? Because there's one thing, you cannot change what you cannot see. So that's why it's very important that we're going over this to understand that 3 qualities that you admire in somebody else that's doing what it is that you want to do. So you kind of see, I'm not saying that so you can see what you're lacking in, but you can see what it is that you aspire to. But now that you see it, you have to take action. You have to decide on what you're going to do, what actions you're going to take that's going to help you develop that quality. And don't be hard on yourself and talk yourself out of it and thinking that, oh, I don't know what to do that's going to help me develop this quality. When you ask, it is given. Whenever you ask that question, okay, what are actions that I can take that's going to help me develop this quality? You're going to receive the answers to that. You're going to receive the information, whether you come up with it that night or somebody tell you something the next day and you're like, oh, that's exactly what I can do that's going to help me develop this quality, right? So you don't want to be timid like that. You want to be on top of it, okay? So whenever you write down those 3 actions, start being about it right then and there.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to get to talking about the stuff that I think most people are really here for. And that's really just the fact that people want to know tips and tricks on how to really work with the law of attraction to get this stuff moving and grooving, okay, as it goes with on the job or changing their career, because I know a lot of people are so scared to leave their jobs and go pursue what it is that they want to do. So I'm sure a lot of y'all are here, but we had to, take this in steps. I wanted y'all to understand what it is that what you feel that is your definite purpose. And then I wanted you to kind of find what it is that you want to do within that purpose. Okay? So we had to go there first before we get here, because I don't want to be just telling y'all how to make a miserable job tolerable, if that makes sense. I don't want y'all sitting here like, oh, let me just use these tips and then I can maintain working at this job that I really don't feel is what I should be doing with my life. That would have really been a pointless discussion. So one thing that I want y'all to really focus on as it goes with your careers and as it goes with the law of attraction is, first, take the time, and this is very important, take the time to discover what it is that are your major desires in life, okay? And you can do this in many different ways. You can say, what are experiences that I want to have over the next year, over the next 5 years? What is it that I really want to manifest for myself right now, as it goes with just the things that I want? Because when you ask is given, so it's important that you get what it is that you want, but you have to be real with yourself and discover that. So what are major desires that you have for your life? Okay, go ahead and get into that, because this is where we kind of get into the movement of that law of attraction and the careers. What are your major desires in life? And I'm just going to share with y'all some of mine, okay? One thing that I wrote down is a major desire for my life is freedom. I wrote independence and freedom to travel and live in locations and homes that serve me emotionally, serves my goals, and gives me peace and security. To live in beautiful homes in different locations And I'm not going to name those locations that I wrote down because I don't want y'all just following me. But I also said I wanted to be able to travel with friends whenever I want. So I really wrote down some of my major desires. And you really have to understand what your major desires are if you're really going to work on manifesting a little bit more abundance as it goes with your career. Because, you know, we do choose these careers because careers compensate us, okay, in some type of form, whether emotionally or financially. But so you really need to understand what it is that you're trying to have achievements in or goals in. Because to be honest, if y'all didn't have bills, you wouldn't go to work, right?
You're right.
Right. So here's the thing. If you don't have major desires, you're not going to really try to manifest a big career. Like you see, I have like 5 or 6 homes I'm trying to manifest. So I have to really be really sound in what it is that I want to do with my life. So it really starts with having that major desire. Okay, what are your major desires? Because then you know how big your career needs to be. Okay? So just saying how big your career needs to be or how big you need to be playing the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
So
Both.
I know. So think about that. What are your major desires? Then think about what it is that you're willing to give up for your major desires. Okay? Because there's no free lunch. And I tell all my friends that, I tell the people that I mentor that, I tell everybody that there is no free lunch. Everything has a price. And generally that price is effort. Okay? So to have those major desires, you're going to have to give a little effort as it goes with your career. Give a little effort in figuring out how you're going to manifest it. And I'm not telling you to drive yourself crazy, but you're going to have to put forth a little effort. It's just effort. Be enthusiastic about making your dreams come true. So I had wrote, what am I willing to give for my major desires in life? One thing that I wrote down that I'm going to share with you all, and because this is, I'm telling you, it's like a page full of stuff. But I said, put my pride aside. That's one thing I'm willing to give up. And I'm just going to share that intimateness with you. I'll put my pride aside. Never be afraid to ask for help. Be honest with myself when I can't handle something. Cooperate with others in a humble way. Okay? That's something I'm willing to give up. I'm willing to give up my pride. I'm willing to give up doubting myself. I'm willing to give up unnecessary distractions. Like I'm telling you, Facebook knows you now. So they know exactly what to put in front of your face all of a sudden to keep you on there for hours at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'm willing to give up unnecessary distractions. What are you willing to give up for your major desires? I also said I'm willing to give up my energy. When I say giving up my energy, I said teaching every day on big and small levels. Whether I'm teaching in Lyft or I'm teaching these classes, I'm willing to teach to make my major desires in life happen. Oh, and another thing I added, and this was, I think, was good, giving up everything that doesn't serve me. A lot of us like to hold on to stuff that really doesn't mean us any good. So one thing I'm willing to give up for my major desires is giving up things that don't serve me. And sometimes, and I think Miss Sherry can point this out, so she's had a lot of clients. And if y'all want to be her client, I'm going to tell her, give y'all her information. But sometimes we hold on to things that don't serve us anymore only because it's comfortable, because we're used to it. We don't like it. Like these jobs, they don't serve us. We don't like them. We don't like the jobs, but we keep going to them because we're comfortable and we don't want to try to do anything else.
That's true. Very true.
That's one thing I had to give up, doing things that don't serve me just because they were comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need help with that, go to Miss Sherry. She can help you with that. Am I right, Miss Sherry?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because, you know, I'm not a hypnotherapist. I'm mean. I'm a bully. I'm not going to help you relax. I'm going to put you in the fire. No, I'm joking. I'm sure you put people a little heat on people too, Miss Sherry, but yeah.
No, that's true.
So,
Because sometimes we have to help people understand to appreciate themselves.
oh, go ahead with that, because that is really, come on, Miss Sherry.
Well, so many times, you know, people will come to see me, or even you, people come to you, and they want to acquire things, they want more, but they've never learned to appreciate themselves. They've never learned to value themselves. And it's, you know, it's amazing how many times I can ask someone, have you ever told yourself that I love you? That, you know, that you love yourself? Well, that's silly. So, you know, then talking to people, and because now you've already told them that you're silly for thinking this, but, you know, they listen, and just teaching them that there is self-worth, there is self-value, talking to yourself in a positive manner. You know, looking at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself, and I mean, you teach this all the time, look in the mirror and tell yourself how wonderful you are, how smart you are. And it's amazing how many people, even 70 years of age, don't do this. They just never learn to understand what their value is. They listened and believed what other people told them.
And that really does affect, and that really does, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I want people to know that really does affect how you flow in your careers and how you interact with people that you work with and how you really go about your life purpose.
Well, right. And the thing about it is, if you don't understand how to love yourself, how do you understand how to love someone else? Because whatever is inside of us, that love that is inside of us, is always overflowing out. Whether it's, you know, whether it's lack of love or an overflowing of love, either one, it doesn't matter. It's flowing out of us to the person next to us. And whatever that person next to us is getting is coming back to us.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want to be that person that everybody looks like and they just say, oh, she don't love herself.
Right.
Or he don't love himself.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because you can kind of tell a little bit, especially because, I mean, people ain't just angry for no reason.
That's true. That's true. You know, yeah. One of the saddest things that I've ever had is to ask someone, you know, what is it you like about yourself, and they tell me nothing.
That
and
is
I'm
sad.
like, you know, I'm like, well, isn't there, you know, what about this? What about, no, you know, and so, you know, but then what the joy is of this is watching them transform into someone who does love themselves and who becomes successful in their career, in their desires of life.
And I honestly don't feel like that's a hard feat, because at the core of us, we're very loving people. It's just like somehow we become clouded over, and we need to just remove that cloud, just that little bit of cloud, right? To really see that love within us.
That's right.
Express it.
That's right. It's a lot thinner than what we think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time.
Now that is very true. Very, very true. Thank you, Miss Sherry. You're the best. You're the best. So,
You are. Thank you.
I want everybody to really establish that, and I'm glad Miss Sherry added that too. So understand what it is that your major desires are, and understand what it is that you're willing to give for those major desires. And then, and I won't say and then, but through the course of this, and most definitely probably at the beginning of this, you have to grow an appreciation for yourself. You have to grow a self-love, because if you're going to have, if you're going to believe in your purpose, have faith, go the extra mile, keep a positive attitude, be a self-starter, have personal initiative, that takes self-love. That really does. That has a that takes an appreciation for your life. Okay? Because if you're really not appreciating your life, you're not going to be a self-starter. You're going to be a in the bed kind of laying kind of person. Okay? You're not going to have a positive mental attitude either. So these are really, really important traits to have. So let's talk about manifesting work, manifesting a job. You understand your major desires. You know what it is you want to do. So how do you allow the universe to present you the opportunity to do what it is that you want to do? Or how do you get to a place where you create those opportunities for yourself, right? Because, and I wanted to add that, create opportunities for yourself, because I'm not sitting there like, oh, I want somebody to give me the opportunity to teach a class. I want somebody to give me the opportunity to be on their podcast, right? I wanted to do a podcast, so I started one with my friend Shaka. What I wanted to teach classes, so I got Zoom, and I invite people to come. If they want to learn, we can have a good time, you know? So you really have to say, okay, what is it that I want to do? And then you have to, what is it that I want to do? And then you say, okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, universe, God, your higher power, because faith is a spiritual lifestyle, and faith plays a big part in the law of attraction. Okay, so put that prayer out there and say, this is what I want to do. You know, show me the road. Help me see where to go. Okay, and you will notice things kind of put themselves together, or you receive information, or you really gather things or impulses, or, you know, you receive clear guidance within your intuition on what it is that you need to do, or the next step that you need to take. Okay, so go ahead and say, this is what I want to do, and allow those opportunities to come to you. Or if you feel the impulse to start those opportunities for yourself, go ahead and start them. It's not, I'm telling you, it is that simple. Some of you saying it's not that simple. It is that simple. And if you're saying it's not that simple, that means you're making it hard. When I wanted to, like when I got the impulse that I wanted to do comedy, I kid you not, okay? And I'm going to be honest about this story, and y'all can't tell nobody. So I wanted to do comedy, and I had no idea how to get into a club, and I had no idea how to get out, okay, and like start performing. So this is what I did, because I was very serious about it. I had received the guidance to put a curtain up. I put a black curtain up in my bedroom, okay? I got a desk lamp to put spotlight on me. I had got a mic stand and a little speaker with a mic. I set it all up in my room. I even I printed some letters and cut them out and put them up behind me. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I was a comedian at the time. So I told everybody I was performing at the Whore House. That was the name of the club. I kid y'all not. And I put up on those sheets, I taped those letters to that black sheet, whore. So it was right above my head. I kid you not. And I recorded myself on my digital camera giving a stand-up routine. And I posted it on YouTube. After that, I sent it out to people, and I got comedy performing opportunities. So in a sense, I made up a whole fictional comedy club, recorded myself, made a spotlight in my room, and created my own opportunities to perform, because I couldn't figure it out. But the only thing that I thought I could do was like make a faux performance. Okay, and don't share that story with anybody. Now, I think I was like 22, 23 at the time. It was all I knew to do. right? I didn't have nobody. It's like, oh, this is how you get into comedy, you know? So I just followed my guidance on the situation, and it worked out for me. People laughed at this fake video that I made of me performing in my bedroom, and it looked so real. Don't ask me to share that video with you. I live a different life now, and I pretty much have removed it from the internet. But it may still be on my Facebook page, actually. So anyway, moving on. So when you decide on what it is that you want to do, and you may not have any clue on how to begin, don't stress yourself out. Allow it to come to you, because when you ask, it is given. Okay? So that I know for sure. And that is what you have to believe and trust in. When you ask, it is given. Whether you have to mock it up in your own bedroom, if you like, even like the models, like people who want to model, there are so many modeling opportunities. If you want to be a singer, there are so many singing opportunities. If you want a life coach and you got a car, become a Lyft driver. Okay? I'm telling you, my idol, Marianne Williamson, she really made that plain to me. She was talking to people, because she was teaching in LA at the time, and there were people who was just like, I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor. I've been using the law of attraction. I want to be an actor, but it seems like I can't get a part. I want to be on this show. It was a very popular show, and she was just like, if you want to act, act. Why are you saying that it has to come a certain type of way? Right? So if I was that kind of person where I'm like, oh, I want to be a comedian, I have to get on Comedy Central, and I didn't make no moves because I'm waiting on Comedy Central to call me, that makes no sense to be in a standstill, because I'm telling the universe I have to receive my opportunity or my manifestation in a certain way. Right? The universe wants to work with you through your path of least resistance. And if you don't have enough faith to just say that, hey, I'm going to be on Comedy Central, more than likely you're not going to be on there. All you're doing is holding yourself up. So follow your guidance. Okay? So that is really big. So let's say that you don't have a job and you're not really trying to start your own business. You don't want to be a singer. You don't want to be a hypnotherapist, but you do want Michelle to be your personal hypnotherapist. Right? So let's say that you just want to manifest a job right now, because I'm going to say this, money worry is the most strongest repellent to success of all time. So if you're listening to this conversation, you want to manifest a job because the bills are behind, you may lose your house or anything like that, I'm going to tell you, you have to find a way to release that money worry. Okay? And when you have bills stacked up around your face, it is probably impossible for you to release that money worry. So what my advice to you is, you have to go with your path of least resistance. So if you have to get a small job just for the time being to where you can release your money worry, do that. Like lifting. If you have to lift to release some of your money worry, go ahead and do that. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I had lift like for one whole day. And I'm talking about throughout the day. I started in the morning. I kind of stopped at probably like 10 o'clock that night. And I had made $200. Don't tell nobody that. But I'm just going to be honest with you. So do something that will help you relieve your money worry. Okay? And be real about it. If you know that you don't have no casino faith, don't go to the casino trying to relieve your money worry, because you're going to take that money worry right into the casino with you, and you're going to have more to worry about when you leave. So find little things that you can do to release your money worry. So if you are on this call and you're just trying to manifest a job, when you ask, it is given. Okay? So let's say that you say, hey, I want to manifest a job, and you see an ad that says, we're hiring at Best Buy. You clearly manifested that. So take that into consideration. Take the guidance that you received into consideration. And even if you applied to Best Buy and they didn't hire you, you might have would have met the right person in there that will lead you to your job. You have to really, and this is one thing, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. I'm going to come back to that. But you really want to follow the universe. You want to kind of get in the flow with that, because I know a lot of you maybe try to manifest jobs so you can get back on track or make certain ends meet. So go with your path of least resistance. You will know if a job is for you by how you feel about it. Okay? If the job feels good to you, you know that you've really manifested that. That's a job for you. Okay? If the job does not feel good to you, that does not necessarily mean that the job isn't for you. That means you need to check yourself first and see, okay, well, I know I want a job and I see the ad for Best Buy, but I don't want to work there, or I don't feel that Best Buy is a good fit for me. That's called resistance. So resistance is one or two things. It could be the divine guiding you, right? Which more than likely, I won't say it's the divine guiding you because clearly the divine put it in your path. And two, you're probably looking at it in the wrong way. Okay? So sometimes when, like in the Best Buy situation, sitting here like, oh, I don't feel good about taking a job at Best Buy. Well, why? Right? So you have to get with yourself to see if that's really your ego getting in the way. And when I say ego, you're getting in your own way. All right? Like, so you want to verify if that's you getting in your own way and trying to talk yourself out of your blessing, or if it's really just not a good fit for you. So sometimes when you have a negative feeling about something that probably would help you in the long run, you really have to check yourself and talk with yourself about that and unpack it and see what it is that is causing you to feel kind of conflicted about it. Like, oh, Best Buy would be great for me, but I don't feel that I should go work at Best Buy. You see how there's a confliction in that? So you really need to sit with yourself and talk with yourself, or talk with an expert to really unpack that. Okay? So I'm moving on, because I know if you manifest a job, it's very easy. All you put out there is, you know, God, I need a job. I need to manifest a job, or just say, I need a job, right? And don't have all that money worry, because the more money worry you have, probably the worse the job you have to get. Okay, because you're going to take that with you to where you're going to go, to where you're going to be making less. But that's a whole deeper discussion. I won't say deeper discussion, more general discussion. But take the job. You need to release that money worry if you're going to be a success. And I'm not telling you to work that job forever. I'm just telling you to make the money to where you can feel a little bit more comfortable, a lot less worry, and then go back to trying to pursue what it is that you feel that you really, really want to do. So you're not taking money worry to prevent your success. And also, I'm not gonna leave this out. If you feel that you're like kind of over your head in bills and things like that, downsize. There's nothing wrong with downsizing. I had to downsize when I started my coaching business as a branding and marketing expert. I moved in with family. Like when I had really started deciding like who I wanted to be in life, and I knew I couldn't just really have all my stuff together at that time, I had to give up my apartment. I had to give up certain things to really make that dream happen. So there's nothing wrong with downsizing, because it's about making sure that you get on your purpose. And I didn't want that money worry to kind of hold me back, because I'm telling y'all, if I was struggling to keep my apartment and stuff like that, I wouldn't have time to teach. So downsize if that's something that you feel inclined to do. I'm not making anybody downsize. I'm not making anybody work at Best Buy. I'm just giving you some suggestions, and if it resonates, take it. Great. So as it goes with the law of attraction and careers, I want to leave you with this last note. And this was a big thing for me probably over the last 3 weeks. And I almost cry when I think about it, because it's really important to me. When you understand your definite purpose, and you understand what your major desires are in life, and you understand what it is that you want to do, you have to follow your road. Okay? You can't sit there and say that, okay, I want to do this, but I wasn't born under the right star. Or I want to do this, but my family is poor. How am I going to support myself? How am I going to do this? That all of those things don't matter, because I'm telling you, when you ask, it is given. There are many ways to manifest what it is that you desire, then there are stars in the sky. Okay? But you just have to believe it's possible. And I'm not trying to give you like no little pep talk or anything like that. But when you decide on what your major desires are and decide on what it is that you want to do with your life, you really have to follow your road, because if you don't, you will never know if you could have done it. You'll never know. And then years start to go by. And time, most people will tell you, is an illusion, but a lot of people do base their success on time, right? Most people say that they want to have certain things done at certain stages in their lives, but you'll never have those things done in certain stages and points and ages in your life if you don't follow your road. You can't be too scared to get out there and go get it and make it happen, because I'm telling you, there is so much love for you here in the world, in the universe, in spirit, in all that you can imagine. There's so much love everywhere around you that you could never fail. And sometimes it seems that we bump our heads or we meet up with adversity, right? But adversity is not always there to kick your ass or to bring you down. Sometimes adversity is there to teach you a lesson so you can do it even better the next time. But if you don't follow your road, you'll never get to see that. You'll never get to have that opportunity. You'll never get to make those things happen. You'll never get to bump your head a little bit so you can really understand what success is, right? Because there is a very thin line between success and failure. It's really just how you look at it. Like when I moved in with my family, I could have saw myself as a failure. Like, oh, I went to college, I dropped out, I didn't get to, make it happen as a comedian, or I just see that as successful things. I got to get closer with my family. I got to get over my stage fright. I got to do all these amazing things. So I really feel so passionate about people following their road, okay? And I'm telling you, if you need help, I will help you get there, okay? But you have to follow your road, because if you don't, you will never know what you are able to achieve. So I'm going to leave that with everybody on tonight for this class. And I think this is probably the quickest, shortest class we've ever had. And I'm very proud of myself. So any words, Miss Sherry? Because I know that was a little bit of like I was talking by myself for a while. I was kind of feeling myself, I think.
Oh, you did great. As always, you did awesome. But I did want to share something that Mark will tell you, that I worry unnecessarily about finances.
Mm-hmm.
And several years ago, I was a little bit concerned about things, and I'd meditated for a while, and everything just kept coming back to me. You have a roof over your head, you have food to eat, and then finally one day that it was like I realized after even though I'd heard all of this stuff in meditation, I had not realized it. I realized that I'd always have food on the table, I'd have plenty to eat, and I'd have a roof over my head and clothes to wear. And since that time, I have been less concerned about finances, haven't I?
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So I just wanted to throw that out there because, again, you're talking about how simple it is.
It is that simple.
And I've shared this with people sometimes, and they'll laugh at me and say, oh, because that's where I was. All I needed was just that simplicity to say, hey, you're always going to be taken care of.
But I think that's probably I think that's the highest level, if that makes sense, as it goes with not worrying. Because, and that's something that I told one of my friends, because he was always worrying about his finances. And the next thing you know, it always worked out. He always made ends meet. But I mean, he was giving me hell worrying about how it was going to work out, right? But it's just the fact that the universe, there's so much love for us. How could we ever fail? The universe is constantly working on our behalf to make sure that we have the things that we need in the moment. And when your faith expands, so does what you're receiving expands too. So when you took that moment and said, hey, I always have what I need, your faith expanded. So you're receiving, you allowed yourself to receive more.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And, and we know that we all are born with everything we need to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
As you were saying, the universe takes care of us.
Mm-hmm. Marianne Williamson will tell you, like, okay, y'all, I'm not going to just keep talking about Marianne Williamson, but I follow her a lot. But she says, it's a really big quote that I love from her. And she said, the universe wants you to become your highest manifestation possible. And she used the example that an acorn grows into an oak tree. If you have seen how small an acorn is, that acorn grows bigger than your house. Okay?
Yes.
An acorn becomes an oak tree,
That's
right?
right.
But it's because the acorn was programmed from the moment it formed to become its highest manifestation possible. But the acorn doesn't talk itself out of it. The acorn doesn't say, I have to do it this way. I have to do it at this time. The acorn allows the universe to guide it through certain situations, whether a bird picked it up and dropped it, or whether the wind blew it just a little ways and somehow it got rained on. The acorn really trusts the universe, and the acorn grows into an oak tree. Okay, and if it's that simple for an acorn, it can be that simple for us. And I will say that, like when I was sharing with my friend that, okay, you're always worrying about money, but everything is always taken care of. It was starting to drive me crazy. So I told him to adopt this affirmation. He says it to me all the time. Everything is always working out for me.
Yes.
Everything is always working out for me. And
Yes.
I mean, when he took on that, it completely changed his life. He's getting ready to move into a whole condo right now, right? And it was that quick that when he established that for himself, when he took the time to reflect and he understood that everything is always working out for him, his faith expanded, so his receiving expanded.
Yes.
So it can be that simple. It can. It just can be that simple.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Connecting with the universe at the right time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It can be that simple, that those little teachings can change your life when you think about how true they are.
That's true.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was a real good point.
Thank you.
Because people do work. I think money worry is the most common stress that people have. And I don't believe in stress. I don't believe that stress is real. I just believe that people go through a lot of intense moments.
Yes.
And then, but money stress is the most common intense moment.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Especially when the bill collectors have your phone number. You see them calling. Okay? That's just the way it is. But when you understand that everything is always working out for me, I always have what I need. And if it feels tight, and that's what I was saying to people, that there was a point in my life that my manifestations were always so tight. They were just right on time, and I was worrying like hell how it was going to happen. Right? But when you have so much resistance, that just means that the universe has to get more creative. And when the universe has to get more creative, it takes a little bit more time.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But it's going to make sure it happens. It's going to happen, but it just takes a little bit more time because the universe is just having to get more and more creative to wow you for some odd reason because you don't believe.
That's true.
That's right.
So that's the thing. So manifestations be real tight until your faith gets a little bigger, and then you notice that you have more than enough to get the things done that you need.
That's right.
So
Right.
I love it. You know what? I feel like that was a great way to that was the best.
Oh, I enjoyed tonight. You did awesome.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
You always do awesome. But
you give me so much. It's really everybody else. It's really everybody that comes to the classes that make it good. Cause it's a discussion.
You're the one that brings the topic.
Mm-hmm. I just facilitate. Y'all bring the knowledge and stuff too.
Well, we enjoyed it.
Yes, sure did. Sure did.
Thank y'all so much. So I'm going to stop the recording. I hope everyone who have listened in really enjoyed tonight's discussion. It was powerful. I will say that. I really enjoyed it myself. But just like any class that you've seen me done, there will always be another level to this. So expect a part 2 one day, right? Because things don't get deeper. I say things don't get deeper because deeper makes it seem like they have to become more extreme or that you have to do a lot of digging. But things do become more general because you can apply it to everything. So things you can apply like what we're talking about all across everything that you do. So there will be another class on the law of attraction and careers because we've run into our time. So I'm going to say good night to a lot of you. And if you have not joined the Facebook group and you just found this video by chance, go ahead and join our Facebook group. It's called hashtag, well, or you say pound, whatever you see the little symbol as, but pound flowing abundance. Okay, all one word. And you can join our Facebook group so you can interact with people like me, Miss Sherry, and Mark. You know, hang out with us there and learn a lot of things about the law of attraction and spirituality. And also, share with them your information because you never know. They may be like looking, searching for you down.
You can reach me at Sherry T. Wilkins, hypnotherapy.com, or, well, my website is sherrywilkins.com. I have a page, Sherry T. Wilkins Hypnotherapy Facebook page, that you can locate me there. You can send me a message. My phone number is 302-264-1123. My email is sherry@sherrywilkins.com. Feel free to contact me with any questions, any current concerns, any thoughts that you may have. I'm always excited and interested in hearing what someone has to say or what they think. Thank you.
I love that. I love that. I love how these classes always have like-minded individuals. Like we all stumble upon each other because we are like a good attraction for each other.
Yes.
Everybody you meet is always a good attraction to you, based on something that you want. So
it's true.
this was very rich, and I really appreciate you for being here and taking out the time. And I appreciate for all the listeners who joined us tonight too. So I'm gonna wish you all a pleasant evening, a great morning, wherever you are, and whenever you're watching this. Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good one.